New details about the tragic death of the nurse who answered a prank phone call at the hospital treating Britain's Duchess of Cambridge. They were released just a few hours ago in London at the opening of the inquest into Jacinta Saldana's death. Australia's media watchdog also says it's opening a formal investigation into the radio station that broadcast that hoax call. Well, our senior international correspondent Dan Rivers is following the developments, and he joins us now live in our studio. Dan, what are those new details we're finding out?
So this is the opening of the inquest, which is in Britain, if it's an unexplained or sudden death, they hold an inquest with a coroner who's normally a lawyer or a doctor, and they look into why that person died. So this is the formal process. At the moment, the inquest has only been opened and adjourned, no conclusions yet, but we did get key details confirmed, which had been reported here widely, but confirmed in court today, that Jacinta was found hanging by her neck by a scarf from a wardrobe door. A policeman told the court that, that she had some injuries to her wrist, but at this point there were no suspicious circumstances. So all of that does point to a suicide. There were 3 notes found as well, 2 at the scene, 1 in her belongings. But this process has now been put on hold. They'll do some more inquiries and then probably in March come back and I would guess formally say this was suicide. But at the moment, not formally suicide, but certainly indicates it could be suicide.
And what about the radio that, you know, did this prank call? They're under investigation, and they have quite a reputation, don't they?
They do, yeah. I mean, they're being investigated by Australia's Communications and Media Authority, looking at possibly revoking their licence. So the entire future of the station is in doubt. The 2 DJs, Mel Gregg and Michael Christian, are remain off air, on leave, having counselling. They've done sort of tearful interviews on Australian media talking about how shattered they were with the news of Jacinta's apparent suicide. Obviously, you know, totally unforeseen circumstances, but they have been roundly criticised for the nature of this call, for trying to pry into private medical details. Not the most sensible thing to do, perhaps. But they've done this sort of thing before, not these 2 DJs, but the station had a 14-year-old girl do a lie detector test live on air, asked, you know, had she had sex at the age of 14, and there was this kind of awful moment when she admitted she'd been raped. Again, it suggests perhaps a bit of a lack of management oversight into, you know, into how they are doing their segments and the tasteful nature, or, you know, distasteful nature in this case, of how they're doing things. So some difficult questions for that radio station, but as I say, the exact circumstances around Jacinta's death still not formally known, but it indicates it's suicide.
Yeah, very sad indeed. Well, thank you very much, Dan Rivers, for us.